compartir mi pantalla para enseñarte cómo puedes traducir esta reunión a inglés a español. Ok, bajas abajo donde están estos 3 puntitos. Vas a bajar a donde dice Settings, es la última opción. A la izquierda este cuadrito que tiene doble C, Captions. Idioma de esta reunión es inglés y lo vas a poner a traducirlo a español. Or whatever language else. And that's it. Y como ves, ya está traduciendo todo. All right.
Okay, welcome and roll call.
Starting at 5:09.
Welcome everyone. Jenny Dale,
Presente.
Jamal Jackson, Juliana Jimenez-Arturo, Noria indicated she would not be here. Juliana Tamayo,
Presente.
me, Julie Wexler, Jessica Mann.
Presente.
Kristen Rayfeld has, she's going to be a bit late. Margarita Rosa, presente. And then Justice Zia also said he will not be here. Benjamin Figueroa is not coming, right? Maria Isidoro, presente. Great, we have forum. Group norms, just the usual, be respectful. Everyone needs to, I know you sort of check the phone, I just did it. Just try to keep it under control. Take turns speaking. If someone has spoken, let other people speak. Approval of the agenda. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
A motion to approve.
Like someone like to second?
I second.
All in favor of approving the agenda? Raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. That passed. No, one not abstention. The minutes are not actually going to be ready till January, which Jenny has a lot. So that will not happen. We're going to move on to public participation. We have 3 minutes per person for a total of 15 minutes. I'm going to read the following statement. We will now proceed with the public participation portion of the meeting. Profane language, unsolicited comments, and disruptive behavior are prohibited. Individuals who are disruptive may be given a warning and may also be removed from the meeting if necessary. The online chat will be open during public participation only for participants to put their name to request to speak. Otherwise, all attendees must refrain from writing anything else in the chat. So your chat is
So the chat is now open.
okay, we have one in person. Would you want to do the in person first and then we'll do the chat? So we have Mrs. Zhao.
And who's doing timekeeping since Justin
right.
isn't here?
I can do it.
Yes,
I can do it, yeah.
we have Ms. Jackson here. In terms of standing close to the microphone,
Yeah, if you could just
like where will it pick up?
It'll pick up. Actually, we practiced it across my room.
so she stands,
Oh,
she
you
should
can
be able
stand right
to.
there if you would like. Giselle Jackson? Oh, we were saying if you would like to do public participation, apparently the microphone will pick you up if you stand right there.
Sounds good. Let me know when to start.
You can start.
Hello, I'm speaking tonight out of deep concern for the stability of our school. In the past 2 years, both of our building leaders have left before the end of the school year. And when we look at the broader picture, the pattern becomes even more troubling. We have had 3 different principals in the last 6 years. And with this upcoming hire, we will now be selecting our fourth. The level of turnover is incredibly disruptive and concerning for students, staff, and the school community. Research is very clear about this. Stable leadership motivates teachers, strengthens school culture, and supports student growth. Frequent turnover makes it difficult for any long-term plan to take root. When principals change often, initiatives start and stop, expectations shift, and trust becomes harder to build. The current principal turnover pattern like ours raises serious concern about whether the school itself has the conditions needed to retain long-term strong administrators. The studies will show, and we can even ask, for example, retired principal Whitney Young was there for 30 years, the benefit to long-term stability. My hope is that this council fully understands the weight of this moment. Given the negative attention our school has now achieved, it is essential that we approach this hiring process with humility, unity, and a willingness to reflect. We are not just looking for a leader. Each candidate is also choosing us. They are evaluating whether this school and this council are places where they can lead effectively, feel supported, and stay long enough to make a real and lasting impact. If we want a well-qualified, committed administrator to take a chance on our school, we must show that we are ready to collaborate, to grow, and to support stable, long-term leadership. Our students deserve consistency, our staff deserve direction, and our community deserves a school that can finally move forward. This can be a model dual language school if we allow it to be. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have anyone else in person. We're gonna move to.
So far, nobody's put their name in the chat or raise their hand. If you would like to participate publicly, can you please either raise your hand or put your name in the chat? Going once, Miss Ford. Miss Ford?
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Kashasha Ford, Director of LSC Relations. I'm doing a public service announcement. So first, LSC members, thank you for your service, and I appreciate the work that you do. This is the election season. This term ends June 30th, 2026. And if there are any members in the community that are interested in running to serve in the new term, we encourage you to get your applications in before the deadline of January 20th, 2026. All adult applications are online in English and in Spanish. Student applications could be found at the school, and they're still paper. So I'm really encouraging those of you that want to give back to your community, serve your school, to run for a position in LSC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, going once, going twice. Not sold. We're good.
Okay, that concludes public participation. We're going to move on to the next part of the meeting, which is principal selection process, which we put at the beginning because we have Ms. Ford from LSC Relations. I believe it's winding also, and I know Ms. Ford has to do another meeting. So the plan was this was going to be kind of a general overview of the process. Ms. Ford or Ms. Winding, if you guys want to start and maybe speak about it, that would.
Sure. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak early in the meeting. So thank you. My name is Kashasha Ford, Director of LSC Relations. So the process at a very high level. One, it is first, for those of you who've never participated in the principal selection process, it's a very thoughtful process. You're making one of the most important and critical decisions you can make as an LSC member. And so one, I'm just thanking you for being open to this process and wanting to do this work. So the process includes, the first thing you need to do as an LSC is train together so that you all can understand all the roles and responsibilities related to this process. During the training, I will answer any questions about the process. After the training, then you will move to think about and work on your ad. Your advertisement will be posted for generally 2 weeks. If the LSC decides to post it longer, it may. The chief has to approve that posting before it goes on the CPS Principal Quality website. After the posting of the ad, you all should, and maybe before the posting of the ad, think about where your timeline will be. So I always tell councils to plan with the end in mind, right? And back map. So during the time your ad is being posted, consider as a council voting on your timelines. That's really important. You want to also make sure that a couple things you can consider as a council. You can decide as a council if you want to do this process as LSC members as a closed process, or if you'd like to have a principal selection committee, you can also decide to do that. If you do a principal selection committee, that can include people not on the LSC, but your membership will need to vote on the members of that committee and how many people you like to serve. The committee does not make any final decision-making. They will bring recommendations back to the council that you all will vote and decide on if you all decide and vote on having a committee. Once those ads come back, your council is required and responsible for reviewing all the resumes. The Department of Principal Quality will send back a list of all your candidates who have applied, and then that list will also let you know if they're eligible for contract. Your process can also include several rounds of interviews. Your process can include forums where you can include your finalists and allow the school community to kind of see and hear from them. Your process also should include reference review. Some councils, as a part of the process, do site visits. But again, these are things that your council will decide, what parts of the process and steps it wants to take in the principal selection process. Finally, once you've gotten to your final candidates, the actual number of votes that you need to award a particular person a contract is 7 yes votes. So that's what's outlined in the Illinois School Code. And that's pretty much it at a very high level. I look forward to doing the training, and we can kind of get into the weeds of the process. And I know I'm talking fast because that's what I do, and I have to work on that. So I'm going to slow down. Any questions you have for me based on anything that I've shared? And Myra, if I missed anything, let me know.
Ms. Ford, when you said that training, again, I did this a couple years back, so I'm trying to remember, is that like a pre-recorded?
No, you're actually going to
With
train
you.
with us. You're going to train with us. So you guys are going to be together
Schedule training, okay.
as a body, because I think it's important you hear it all together, refresh your memory. If you have questions, you kind of hear each other's questions, and then we can answer them. We want to make sure that you are hearing all the same thing and hearing the answers to all the questions together.
Sure.
And we can do that
Virtual.
training virtually,
Yeah.
right? A training is not a meeting, so it doesn't require a posting and agenda and all those things.
Yeah, Ms. Whiting and I were emailing just to set this up, and she just mentioned
She just
that-
raised her hand on
Oh,
her.
can you explain? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. She said it before I can say it, but also wanted to share with the council that I'll be doing the training, but also in between now and then, I'm going to send you guys a one-pager for principal selection so that you can review that, so that during the training, you'll have some insight on what's going on, and you may have questions that you want to bring to the training after the training is completed if what you were inquiring about is not answered in the training. So I'll give you guys that. I'll send it to you, Julie,
Yeah.
to share with the LSC members.
Great. Yeah, so my understanding is like today, right now, is we need to come up with a time and a date for the training, which again can be remote. And that's a goal to figure out when we're going to do it today. And then once we do the training, then at the next meeting, some of these, we might have to discuss and vote on some of these other things. Like as far as I understand, in terms of voting, like if we wanted to create a selection committee, for example, we would have to vote on that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Right. And you'll be voting on the membership of your committee members as well. So your body, as a body, you guys will decide, one, if you're going to have a committee and who those members will be. So they'll get voted on to be a part of the committee.
Okay. And like I did, I'm sorry it was so late, but I did email the LSC the PowerPoint slides. I don't know if you guys saw it from the Safe Schools training platform. That kind of is I'm sure you guys all did it because everyone did their training last year, right? It goes over the process as well. And we're in step 1A. Did we receive notification from the Department of Principal Quality that the proper paperwork has been filed with a final date of service? Like, have we done that already?
So in this case, there's a resignation. And so you got notice that there was a resignation.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
so you're set with that. Mhm.
Okay, awesome. So we're at like step 1B.
Yep, we got to get your training. Yep, get your training. Yep.
And then so we will be trained. And then step 1B would be meet with the network chief to review school performance data and discuss the strengths and needs of the school. Is
So
that right?
one of the things that you can do when you schedule your next meeting, invite the chief and ask him to make a presentation related to that.
He has a standing invitation. He's here every meeting.
Okay. I think he's been at most of the meetings anyway, but now he'll have a job. So
At nearly every meeting since last month.
If you
Yes.
let us
Go ahead,
know, we
yeah.
can prepare something and do
oh, he's there.
Oh yeah, he loves us. He's here all the time.
Yeah, as I said, we did 2 of them. I would have to go back and check it for a long time now.
Can you clarify? So what I don't have it first up, what this presentation
Yeah,
is?
so typically, and then we've done it for other LSCs that are going through the principal selection process, just performance data, metrics, just general information around the school, maybe characteristics and elements that we're aware of that maybe most folks aren't. So it's really just kind of an overview to help you then kind of think about as you develop your profile, what are things that you would like to look for in a leader?
And I know that nothing is like normal, but how long does this process like normally take, or what kind of method? You know what I mean?
It looks different at every school, but I'll allow our folks from LSC Relations
Sure.
to how we give more of a perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so average, like up to about 8 weeks on average, right? But it can go 6 months, it can go 9 months. It just depends on how organized you are. It depends on if you have a tight timeline and everyone comes to the meetings where you can take care of the business. So you guys get to decide what that looks like. And so when you do your timeline, that's an important question that you guys want to ask. When do you want to be done with this?
I think also just from what we had done it before, I think also candidates, the candidates, because we could put a timeline, but like if we're not getting the candidates and then,
This is the last timeline.
Okay.
We have everything. Well, it's all in the drive.
yeah.
So,
But then I also would say that we should take as long as it's necessary.
So, and
so I'll
then,
say,
yeah, go ahead.
so I just wanted to follow up on that, of saying, I think the process in terms of reflections from last time felt this pressure of we need to find somebody right now.
Because
And
of the
so,
timing.
right. And
Just
so I
waiting,
think
that's
that as being really, as has been stated, of being really thoughtful and intentional. We did that last time as well, but just we will do that again this time. We have templates of all the materials that we used for the last election. So timeline, job
Encuestas.
description, the survey, all those materials that we can use as reference. The key is because it's so many meetings of, as Ms. Ford said, of really mapping it out, of setting the times of like the training date, when are the special meetings in between, to who's reviewing the job descriptions or the resumes, and then our strategy of how we want to do it, because and again, it also depends on candidates because it's 2 weeks at a time. And so you can see how many come through that 2 weeks, and we say, okay, we're going to wait for another 2 weeks, and we can see how long we want to wait to until we close the process, because we can continue to post it, but then we also want to be interviewing along that time, right? So if candidates come in, how we're going to organize the batches of interviews, who's at it, given that I think the challenge, we recorded all the interviews last time, so it was a couple people, because having a candidate be interviewed by 10 people is overwhelming and not good HR process. And so we had anywhere, from 2 to 3 people do interviews, recorded them, then people reviewed them, and then we had closed sessions where we then discussed them.
And then just like, this is a logistical question again, in terms of selection committee, if that were to be done, we solicit like from the teachers and for example, community members, parents, and then they indicate their interest, and then the LSC as a group like decide.
I know they've done that in the past for, are we talking about principal selection
Yeah, I'm just
committee?
curious how it would even work. You know what I mean?
I
'Cause
tried to
was
get
told
some
that we
feedback and I heard it was a little bit
Well,
chaotic.
regardless of that, like what Ms. Ford and Swani said is we would have to vote on it. So how
Yes.
do you even?
People apply.
So it's an application.
It's an
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I'm getting at. So like people would have to apply.
Chair, may I have permission to speak?
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
In regards to that, the committee, the LSC as a whole, you guys get to decide how many members that you want on that committee, and then you can just have different people apply to be on there. You can vote who's going to be on the committee, but keeping in mind too, that committee has to have quorum when they meet in order to conduct business. So just being mindful of all of those pieces that's need to be considered when you're doing that committee. So as much as you want to have a diversity of voices and things on there, you still want it to be manageable. So just consider that. And then also for your training, with the time, because hopefully you'll give me a date tonight. You want to allot an hour and 15 minutes for that training.
And then for other things, like if we want to do, for example, focus groups, like that kind of thing, that we don't have to vote on that because it would just be like, say, if we don't want to violate OMA, we could have like 3 LSC members in a place for a focus group with whoever wants to show up. That's allowed, right?
What do you mean by focus group?
It's like a
a
small
mini
town
forum.
hall.
It's like
Yeah.
Oh, community forum.
Yeah, like that's maybe smaller. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like what our options are.
I guess the idea of like, if we didn't do, like, are we able to do like a LSC community forum where we have these kind of conversations about the principal selection process and like what are the people in the community. I know we talked about having like, or thinking of like maybe doing a couple of them where
Right.
my brain is not
Well, that's
working
what I'm
today.
saying.
I'm
is
sorry.
I'm not saying like necessarily forum, but say like we have 3 like focus groups, and you can call them mini forums, and each one might have only 3 members if we don't want to violate OMA at different dates or times to accommodate like people's work schedules, right? And that was one question. And the other is, did you guys send out a survey last time? I thought you
Yeah.
did.
That sounds like a committee.
Well,
No, because
so
it
this would
wouldn't.
be, so just to clarify, Ms. Whiting, what I understand that Julie is saying is that it would be saying it would complement the survey. So having essentially an opportunity for having a dialogue about like what types of candidates do we want, what those things are, but is open to the
Yeah.
public to be able to come
Exactly.
instead of not just a forum with the final
It
candidate.
would be like, there will be 3 dates, 3 members might be present, it might be different members at each one with a brief overview of the process. And then what are your questions? What are your concerns? What are your priorities? And have it open to, community members
As a way to get input.
to get
of gen-
input outside of a survey, right?
So to get input outside of a regular meeting, is that
No,
what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
it would
and
not be
outside
a
of the
formal
survey.
meeting.
Community
So we
input.
wouldn't violate OMA because it wouldn't be more than 3 of us.
Got it.
And-
I think that could work, but what I want to always do, I want to also run it because this is kind of a new thing I'm hearing. So I want to run it by my colleague in legal, but it sounds like it could work.
Okay.
Because it's a community meeting. You're only going to have 3 members there and you're hearing feedback.
Yeah, and it's like to try to have it maybe in a smaller setting.
Yeah, because not everybody will, not everybody always does a survey or doesn't look at it or is not, it's not accessible to them.
Mhm.
And just giving it, a different avenue to get feedback from our community.
Yeah,
if that
I mean,
makes
like
sense.
we're here. We're going
Mhm.
to try to do them at different times of day or days of week to accommodate like different schedules, for example.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
in addition to that, though, so that's one format, but could we have a special meeting that is dedicated to predominantly public participation of people coming to share their thoughts on priorities as another format?
Yeah, you guys can decide what that looks like. And that's another great avenue as well.
Okay, so it could be like a few focus groups if we wanted at maybe other times that are not regular meeting times, and maybe a special meeting.
Or just have a special meeting with, where it's just the special meeting is
We could
predominantly.
do both even. I'm just saying it would be nice, like some people can't do Thursdays at 5. They can't
Right,
do
and
Saturdays, and I would
Yeah.
like to like allow.
And a virtual thing too.
Yeah,
could be.
exactly. It would be
Okay.
nice to have different options.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the-
very creative. And that works. I'm going to just run it by my colleague in law, but it sounds like that can work with no problem.
Great.
So you will follow up with us, let us
Yes,
know.
I will.
Okay, cool.
I
Thank
will.
you.
I'm like 99.9% sure. My attorney and me saying that sounds right. I don't have my spidey senses. It sounds good. It's less than majority of quorum. So
Right.
And one other clarifying thing. So again, this is based on the premise that we potentially would not have a committee, so that just the LSC. So if that were to happen, is there a way to legally do this where before we get the final candidates, like to have the public forum, but there's a check of like having I guess this is turning into a committee then. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like having like a closed session with people who signed a confidentiality piece based off of community members that could be able to help narrow down the candidates to get their like recommendations.
That is a committee. That's a committee.
That's a committee.
But is that possible to have a committee that doesn't participate in any interviews or anything and is just part, like we would say we'd have two committee meetings. We could put it that way.
So anyone you bring in your established group, you have to give them what their roles are, right? And so if that's the limited role you want this committee to take part in, then you have to make that clear to them, right? And that's fine. Right. You all decide that as a body.
I see. So we can decide what the committee would do, basically.
Correct. You have to, you have to give them their charge. Yep.
Got it.
So as a premise, a potential option of a committee is instead of having a committee that's managing the whole process, we could say the LSC is managing everything and we're establishing a principal selection committee that would at various points that the LSC designates have a closed session to review and get recommendations on narrowing candidates down.
Correct.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then would they need to, would they need
to sign the confidentiality agreement?
And so they would not have to do the training because they are not going through that whole process.
So what we can do is we can train them. We can do another
invite them to the training.
Okay.
So you would do that. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then with the survey, is there anything like particular with like respect to that?
Yeah, we have to.
We have to have
by
it.
legal.
Yeah, I was going to say
legal.
by the legal. So like we would come up with it and send it to you guys, for example, right?
Yeah, it goes to legal. So us and legal will review it. Yeah.
Which we have
Well,
one.
the survey
that
was
we
based
can-
around the previous, like we have.
We can tweak it and then move from there.
So I guess, does everyone feel like they have a good understanding of how it's going to work? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about the committee again. So if you do the outside committee, would that have no LSC members on it? It'll just be an outside committee alone? And then they come back, or will it be half and half, or do we set?
It can kind of be, we set it, right? Yeah.
So like, I think if we're doing the committee where they come in for, to help like at certain points, like maybe, where we have like 3 candidates and we're trying to see which one of these 3 that we whittle down is like the one that is like,
We said what we want.
so like we can have like, they would come in during closed session with us as an LSC with them, and then we go over and then they give their recommendation.
We just have to designate what level we put involved that we want. And they would have to get.
Because the problem was too with, from my understanding, when they did have before they've done, in the past, they've done the principal selection committee. The issue was the fact that it's already hard to get all of us together, but then you have them, you have to coordinate training, you have to coordinate, people signing up, people,
quorum.
people finally getting
Okay.
selected. So that's a whole process. And then you can start the principal selection, but then they have to meet, they have to have quorum, and they have to follow the whole,
A lot.
yeah.
I mean,
And the committee could be made up of the entire LSC plus other people, right? Like,
Yes.
However-
Yeah. It's usually,
I think like today, what we have to decide. So the other thing with respect to timing is like, this happened the day after Thanksgiving, and we're coming up on the holidays, for whatever holidays people celebrate, and like 2 weeks of vacation stuff. So, it might just be that like we as a group right now, I think one thing to decide is, do we want to be trained before the winter break, or do we want to be trained in January, right?
Miss Winding, were you trying to say something? I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I wasn't, but I did want to, I was going to wait till you guys finish.
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say for the give me a moment. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought waiting to speak. Give me a moment. Go ahead.
Just jump in. So like, is it worth doing our training before we go on break so that everyone has a little time before the next meeting, which is January 8th, to like think about fully understand the process after the training and then think about it. Like,
I think we need to do it
think-
before.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I'm ready now. My recommendation, you guys choose what's best for you, but it would be that you guys do the training. That way you have, a knowledge of what's ahead of you and can begin to prepare to think about what that looks like. Because the first thing is going to be that timeline so that you can kind of iron that out. And it's not something definitely that you don't want to rush. But I think since you're getting ready to do this, you want to understand what it looks like and what you're going to be doing. So that training is going to be important. And also to keep in mind that when you go through the process, the goal is definitely to select a principal. But if you get through the process and, you guys, feel like you don't end up with a good candidate to move forward with, you're not forced to select from that. You can repeat the process over. And then finally, for the committees, I think when you guys are thinking about those committees, again, someone named about the having quorum and they have to meet those OMA guidelines. So again, you don't want the process being delayed, but you do want to get that feedback. So just be mindful of that.
I
So
like
one
that idea. So yeah, go ahead.
So I was going to say, in terms of for today, my recommendation would be that, as we said, we set the date.
Mhm.
I think that I would like to take, I know we have some other things on the agenda, but I do think it would be helpful to map out the milestones that we want on the timeline now. Again, to think out because I don't want it to be like, oh, we meet in January and then we're creating the timeline and then we're doing those things. So I like to spend some time briefly, again, because we have example of what the steps are and what that timeline could be, and deciding if we want a committee. So those would be the three things.
Yeah,
I just
that
want to clarify though, Ms. Winding, are you saying that we should do the training before we set our timeline together?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
So
would
then we
think so. Go ahead, Kashasha.
she was also, I would also echo the point, doing the training sooner than later so that you have a good understanding.
So I think our first step is finding that out.
Yeah,
the date for
let's
that.
pick a date for this month because our next meeting is January 8th. And so that way, like, we have a goal of what we're going to talk about with respect to this process on January 8th, right? So is like our Thursday going to be the best time for everyone? Like, is putting it, I mean, this is virtual, right? But we all have to be there. Is it doing it on a Thursday going to work for everyone?
So everybody can be at their own
Be where everyone-
places, but they just have to.
Yeah. But we all need to be there, right?
And how long is the training for again?
An hour.
An hour.
15. Okay.
And we can, for those who are not able to be there, remember we could record it, right? If someone's not able to be there so that they can see it, if we have a couple people who can't come.
We usually don't record it. I would recommend that, that everyone is there
we
at
can.
the meeting. If we can't do that, I guess we could record it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
we can record. You guys
It's
can.
ideal for sure, but I'm just saying life happens,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
definitely.
So just wanting
Okay.
to have that as an option.
So since it's virtual, is like later in the day, like later in the evening, better.
Can we just go through Monday through? Can we just see who is available Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings? We raise our hand till we all get like our hands.
Yeah, and I think and my schedule varies widely depending on my work schedule. I'm suggesting you can't do Thursday.
Well, that's the thing. For my schedule is crazy, and not regular, the next 3 weeks. So I would just say instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, would just be throwing out some days. Let's get two options of what works for the most of us. And then we can see if Justin can do it.
And
Nadia and Nadia.
yeah.
What is your suggestion in terms of timeline or time frame?
I mean, I think we would like to do it prior to the break. Does that make sense for
I
people?
think it's yeah.
I think so, right? Unless you guys want to do it during.
No, I think it's
No. What
So-
about Tuesday, the 16th?
Around what time are we thinking? Like 6,
7.
7?
Six.
Oh God, I
Seven
did
works.
don't
Huh?
do it.
Oh, 6, 7.
7 o'clock on Tuesday the 16th.
Can people just raise their hand if it works? And then
I
I
think
think
I
it'd be
could.
easier.
No, what about?
No. ¿Más temprano? No. You can't at all. Okay.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Oh, I'm 16.
I am out of town for a work conference from the 9th through the 13th. I'm sorry.
Monday the 15th?
It's-
Oh, the first day of
I mean,
Hanukkah.
I
Okay, no,
could.
no.
Oh,
That
sorry.
we're, okay.
I could if we have to.
Guys,
I-
the 15th is the only date that does not work for me for the month.
I could do because
I
it's
could
for
not.
I'm like at a conference for I've been out of town and I have duties.
Mm,
Monday the 8th.
I can.
You can't.
Oh,
I'm
Tuesday-
open.
me too. I
On the 8th?
honestly, whatever day works for everybody, I could make work.
Wednesday I've been in.
Mondays and Tuesdays are generally, I can never do Wednesdays, and my Thursdays are booked.
So Monday, it's a Monday
Monday
or
or Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay?
I,
It's why you couldn't do the 15th anyway.
but you can do the 8th. Could possibly do the, at 7, if we did it at 7 PM, I
On
think
the
I
8th.
could swing it.
The 8th?
And
We
then
can do
it's,
the 8th
yeah,
at 7.
7.
You can't?
Es para por una hora.
Can you-
Una hora.
I might be on the road in the middle of the facility started, but I can do it.
Okay,
You said 7?
7,
Would 8 o'clock work for you?
7:30.
Yeah, I mean,
I know, no, for the people who have to wake up super early, I've had it
No, I
later.
mean, me too, I could have.
AM is great too.
No, 8 PM is what there's.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, after that,
7.
7. 8 is great.
Like 7:30?
Be there.
7:30.
I
7:30?
could do 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody.
Wait, should we see if it works for them? Yes, at 7:30.
She
Does
said
that
the-
work? for
We
you?
will make it work. There was only
Yes,
one day.
we will make it work.
I
So wait,
mean,
what day is it?
7:30
Monday,
to 8.
December 8th at 7:30.
I
And
can't.
honestly, that's everyone -2. And if they can't, we can figure something out for them, right? Like
Yeah.
record
Yeah,
it. Or,
yeah.
Right, that's okay, right? Is when you get.
Because there's like 2 kids not here, or 2 kids. I'm 2 still thinking school. There's 2 people plus. Does the student have to be trained too?
No, the student,
Okay. This is not part of the principal selection process.
They don't-
They're-
So yeah, there's only 2 people that are not here that we'd have to ask. But if not, then we can record, right?
Yeah.
For them. Okay.
And can you clarify, I know the student doesn't vote, but are they in this process at all, or they are not?
They're not part of the process, but the students can make recommendations. They're
they
not
can-
part of the process of principal selection.
Okay, so not like interviews and all those other things.
No,
They're-
none of
It's
it.
just that once we have candidates, we can get their input.
No.
So Monday.
No, we
December-
cannot get their input. Like, so they're not seeing any candidates' information. They're just
Yes,
doing
you can get their input on what the public hears.
what the public hears. I just that's the part I wanted to clarify. Okay.
Okay, so Monday, December 8th, 7:30, you will send us a link. We'll ask Nuria and Justin if they can come, but we're gonna have to keep it like that, 'cause that's the majority that can do it.
And can we set up the link just so that then we can record it and have it more easily?
Oh,
Like, could you set up the link, Miss Man? For the meeting?
Yeah. Is it just a Google Meet?
yeah, it could just be a Google Meet. It's fine. Yep, you can set it up. And you can
And then do I add both you, Miss Wendy and Miss Ford, the both of you?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anybody else outside of the LSC I need to add?
No,
Any
it's
of your
just the
committee
LSC.
members, if you guys decided that, which I doubt that you've decided that already,
No.
so they
No,
can
you
watch
have to
the
do that.
recording.
Okay. I actually, I will do that now while we are, so I don't forget. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you let Margarita in? Or no, she's not in there.
She's not even in there.
You're in a different link. I don't know where.
And then it's 5:47. We're doing a good job with time. Before we move on to the next.
I think we should decide if we want to
Want to
come
come out with today?
Somebody said our video and our tech game has really stepped up.
I mean, I think we
So-
should, because I think that depends on the timeline.
I-
Or we're waiting
I
until
think
after
we
the
should do
team.
training. first,
First.
so we have a good idea, and it gives us a little time. And then the other two people presumably might be here.
Okay,
So
but could we,
Am I on now?
yeah, and my just concern is that if we are gonna do a committee, that takes a lot of process.
takes a long
and
time.
that to do all that selection, so if we're gonna do it, I feel like we need to have the clarity of like what
I
those
just
steps
don't want to
are.
rush it, and like some of us haven't done this before, we haven't been trained, and so I'm worried if we're like rushing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to rush, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to gauge on task. I'm just
My
trying to
question
get-
then is if we,
So we feel a little comfortable about.
if anything, Ms. Winding, if after we have our meeting, we decide that we want to have that committee that helps during certain points in to whittle down, like, you know, when we get a couple candidates that we've decided are, you know, good candidates, are we able to create another principal selection meeting for those like subcommittees, that subcommittee?
I don't.
You
No?
could just, you mean like a special meeting?
Like the one that we're doing for the principal selection, because if we decide that we're gonna have a subcommittee, then they would have to get the principal selection.
Training.
Oh, you
Training.
mean the training? They can watch the video.
Oh,
I
perfect.
wouldn't do the training twice.
Okay, thank you so much. That's
No
all.
problem.
And I just checked that our meeting is January 8th, so there's enough time. I was picturing like all break and then not meeting until
Oh
later in
yeah,
the
yeah.
month.
That's why
So,
I said because we have our meetings this year. We put them at the beginning
Yeah.
of the month.
so that's fine.
Yeah. So then the plan would be December 8th at 7:30. We all get trained. Then we all think about kind of what we think is best practices, whatever, over the break. And then on January 8th, we as a group kind of like publicly discuss what we want our process to be and vote on it. Does that make sense?
And I will go ahead and send the previous timeline just to give folks an
That would be
idea
great.
of like what are the steps, because we have to just remember in terms of process, and this is why just getting all of us emotionally prepared for the number of meetings that are happening, because we have to vote on have a meeting to be able to vote on the job description. After, you know, first we vote on it, then we have to get approved. We have to like vote on all those different processes, go through all of this. So it's a lot of meetings.
Okay.
So just
And
getting
then in
us
terms
prepared
of
for
like
that.
what was 1B on the PowerPoint, assess the need with the school for the network. Like, is that something that we would do at the very next meeting? Like, is that something that you meet with a committee?
You're still not in.
Yeah, it's
You're not
completely
showing.
up to you. January makes sense because it's nice to have that information on the
Where is
front
she?
end.
Yeah.
Is she doing the
yeah.
ions one?
Okay.
Plus you're putting the deck so you can share it with
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
else that
okay.
you need, so.
So like you guys.
I'll
would
send
be
you an
available
email.
On January 8th, for example, if
Yes.
part of the discussion of the process would be like you guys presenting something like what you guys are assessing the school to be, right?
Yeah, so it's not so much assessing the need, but really just giving you a portrait of the school so that you can then prioritize.
Right, and that should be in a public meeting, so that
Yes.
everyone in the community can see.
Can listen.
And yeah, it makes
Send
sense
her
to
an
do
invite
that.
in her
Does that
email.
make sense, guys? Like, so on January 8th, we would have you guys give us a report as a school. Maybe do that first on agenda, announce what's up, and then we would then discuss what we want the process to be
Ms.
like.
Ford has to go.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Ms. Ford.
much. And then if we decide we do want a committee, we would also vote on creating a committee or whatever. I mean,
When is this for
January
January?
8th,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll all take like the next few months basically to think about this.
I do have one additional question about the training. Will you all go through kind of what we should look for in a candidate, or the best way we can put together a page to try to find a candidate that we're looking for? Is that part of the training at all, or do you all have any suggestions?
So for the training, we give you the process and we give you, we answer any questions that you have. We can share best practices or things to consider, like when you're, if you look at your school's CIWP and you look at the previous resume, you build your questions around the goals of what the school is trying to accomplish. So you can share those things as you're going, and we can give feedback or, answer questions, but you all own the process, but we do support you throughout that process. The LSC owns that process.
Thank you.
And I can share the previous announcement as well as for reference. We can look for
Sure,
that.
that'd be good.
And then just,
Yeah.
beginning or end of meeting doesn't make a difference to us, so, but we will plan for January.
Yeah,
doing
that'd
the
be great,
presentation.
Probably the beginning makes sense to me, don't you guys think, like you guys present
Yeah.
the data, so we have that info and we can make our timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other things regarding principal selection process before we move on to the agenda? Anyone? We're good? Okay.
All right, just FYI, our meetings are all for 5 p.m. I just realized all the invites are 5 p.m. because I
Yeah.
had to change them.
We cannot change on the day because we don't have it on the agenda to vote on it.
Right. So then the next one is
It
5.
has to be
Okay.
5 p.m., yeah.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
virtual one, the we're training.
No, no.
Okay, so we're done with principal selection process. Good job. Evan. Okay. Fundraising event presentations. I don't think we have fundraisers, right? So we can skip that. I just have it on there just in case. Those are, we took care of whatever was outstanding on the quick November 12th meeting. So we move on, and so we don't have to vote on fundraisers. We don't have any. So we move on to reports. Obviously no principal report. I didn't do any update because there really wasn't anything to say. Our student rep is not here, so we're not doing that. We don't have a back report, right? And then dual language. Do you have something?
Just a short statement.
Sure, go ahead.
We were able to meet with the principal Silas Thursday before Thanksgiving, and the night for chief, and we are moving ahead with the discussion on the town allotment, and we're getting closer to what the dual language committee had been requesting. So we're very happy about that, and hopefully soon we can come with good news and conclusion on that. In the meantime, we would like to meet with our dual language coordinator, Mr. David, so hopefully that will happen soon. And maybe in our meeting you can have a full report on where we're at.
Awesome. Glad that you were able to do that. Sounds really positive. Great. And then ballet report. I have it. Do you wanna?
And it's in the public drive. I will share in the chat the report so people can see it as well.
I'm trying to put up this thing.
Is the chat open, right?
Nope.
Want to use mine? Yeah. It's my computer.
Oh, it is.
It is, yeah, I was like,
Because Marissa's not in, right?
I just
Maritza
messaged-
was on.
yeah.
I just texted her that we're about to do it. I don't know if she's
She
on
She's
it.
on there.
She is. Maritza, would you like to say the ballet report?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So for the report that we have here today is the highlights. We're going to start with that. Our staff's sweet start to the holiday season was a success. Thank you, everyone, for the donations for the pies for the teachers and all the baked goods. Fele will be supporting the school's holidays around the world. Feel free to reach out if you would like to volunteer to decorate. So we're trying to decorate part of the school. I know that Ms. Rivera has reached out to us and putting a Christmas tree. We would also like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. But if there's any other celebrations out there that our community would like and they do celebrate, feel free to reach out to us. We will organize a holiday luncheon for teachers and staff, and that will be December 15th. We are coordinating with Ms. Rivera on a date for our yearly winter dance. So details are coming soon for that one. And this is where all our kids go by time at certain times to our dance. We are going to need, obviously, parents to come and volunteer and help us out. Also, we met with the Cubs late October, and we were offered a community night fundraiser through them. We are excited about that. We also have other invites from the Cubs for special treats that they do for schools. So we were asked if we can join them in these events that we can share when time comes. When it comes to the business, one of our communications is the distribution of the flyers to communicate events has been a challenge. However, moving forward, Ms. Rivera and Fele have established ways for us to communicate our events and the process for the distribution of flyers. Escuelita staff have not been paid. The donation check and letter were given in October prior to starting the program. The check was cash. No request was made to transfer the funds from internal accounts to the school budget. Therefore, no bucket has been created to pay the staff. Fele met with Ms. Rivera and Ms. Wilson, and they are working on getting this completed. With Escuelita, we are currently planning the second semester of Escuelita program. Will be added to the snack request list for the after-school program and no longer required to purchase our own snacks. With this one, when we met with Mr. Sayas previous to starting Escuelita, we were told that kids from Escuelita could have snacks from the school, the same snacks they provide for OST and right at school. And days before we started Escuelita, we were told we couldn't, that we had to purchase our own snacks to provide for the kids, which thank you to all the donations we've been doing, and we have the possibility. But we do think that our kids also deserve the snacks if OST and Right at School are getting it. So Ms. Wilson and Ms. Rivera will look into that and let us know. A second donation will be made to the school that is intended to be used to pay Escuelita, our teachers for Escuelita for the following session. Upcoming events, well, the readathon started before the Thanksgiving break, as usual, but it has been slow this year as Fele faced many challenges in distributing the sign-up information. The last day is December 6th. Unfortunately, we had a huge setback with distributing the flyers, and I know that a lot of parents have been seeing that on the website, through Facebook, Instagram, and some of our parents sharing it through WhatsApps. But I do understand that there's a lot of parents that don't use social media at all, and it's very hard for them to get this. So it was easier to receive it in the carpetas with our kids, right? And a lot of our kids were expecting a paper to sign their minutes and or their donations. Mercadito will take place on December 11th at Third Space. The alderman has been supportive and will be attending. Ms. Rivera and Ms. Wilson were also invited. Currently, we have 8 vendors signed up. So there's still a link out there if you guys can share it. And I know that our kiddos got it in the carpetas. So feel free to share for any other vendors or vendors in our community, in our school, whoever would like to come and join us for that. And it's a community event, so it's open for all our IAMS families. Parents Night Out. We have another Parents Night Out on December 10th, and that's at Amori Tequila. And this restaurant is owned by IAM's parents, so we're supporting their business, and they will support us. So they will give us a 10% back of the sales for that night. Panda Express, which we had yesterday, they will give us 28% of whatever was sold yesterday. It was the entire day, and it was nationwide, so we were able to share it with other families around the states, right? So we're just waiting on them to let us know how much money was raised, and this fundraiser was specifically for the 5th grade for the Cahokia trip. And I think that's it, unless you want me to repeat it in Spanish, or we are okay.
It's
translating simultaneously. Thank you. That was really comprehensive.
Just that our next meeting is Monday the 8th, and we do a cookie exchange, so you're all invited to come in and bring some goodies and exchange cookies with us.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, it's on here.
Somewhere.
It's at the bottom.
4:15.
Yeah, 4:15 in the lunchroom. Join for our cookies. How many cookies are we bring?
I'm baking on something.
Couple of dozens.
Thank you.
I'll bring 2 cookies.
Awesome. Okay, that way report. PPLC report.
PPLC has our meeting's supposed to be on, the next meeting's on the 17th, so there is no new report, but I will state that I had, we've had 3 meetings that our previous administration or principal had not gone to. And I talked today to Miss Rivera and Miss Not Wilson, and they both said that they want to be involved in everything. So they are going, I'm going to send them the invites. So they will be plan on them being collaborating with the PPLC. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you guys. So now we're going to go to old business. It was just 2 things. So committees, chairpersons, I don't know if we want to do this today or not. It's left over from like 2 meetings ago when we started to have a discussion about, it's almost like Justin should be here.
Yeah, I
Are
think
you guys
Justin
okay?
should be
Because
here.
of the like OMA related stuff.
Is it the subcommittee stuff?
Yeah, and he was involved in the bylaws. I mean, I don't want to put too much on next time because I know we have to really focus on principal selection. But sorry, when I made this, I was just carrying over, and now I'm just like, oh.
I will say that the subcommittees, I know we need them, but I'm going to say just going through that principal selection process, there's going to be really no time to do subcommittees right now because our time, it is a very time consuming.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're actually, what we're trying to do is continuation of the committees that we currently have, and then we were going to add
The budget.
I think the special ed was going to be added.
And budget. Yeah.
Right. And so I don't think it's a matter of whether, then it would be up to that committee when they want to meet.
No,
So
yeah.
They want to meet
Yeah.
after the principal selection.
So you
But
just want,
I think that we should, not necessarily today, but
Right.
necessarily in the next agenda.
Yeah. That's
To
what I was
already
thinking.
set up.
Yeah, because it was a question of needing to follow OMA for some of these, right, Jenny? If we went.
And it was about checking.
I did ask the assistant director of my center if we could instead make today Friday. She laughed because she thought I was joking.
let's make sure that we're muted. I keep it on muting and it's.
We were going to select the committees. It wasn't about, because we had done a straw poll of who wanted to be a part of them. It was a deciding of who was going to be chair of the committees. But going to Ms. Mann's point, I want to just be realistic. To me is the budget committee, which is essentially the chair we already nominated. Virginia, so maybe I would be okay if we formally voted for Virginia to be the chair of the budget committee. So that is established. Because going to Ms. Mann's point, I don't see any committees really doing much except we're going to have to do a budget and we have to select a principal. And then it's the end of the school year and it's a new LSC.
Yeah.
We don't need to meet right now because.
Yeah, and I think so we're not going to decide upon a principal selection committee thing. We already made that point.
Right.
And then the budget one, this is the part that my apologies I don't remember is the it's just Virginia on a committee of 1 and she's the chair and she's the only one in the committee, the OMA meeting role.
Right.
doesn't apply, right?
So if the committee is going to meet, which we hadn't stated, we have to post agendas
Yeah.
and make it a
And if
public
it's just
meeting.
her as the chair, she's like meeting with herself, right?
Right. Well, what we did, what we did with the evaluation was that Justin was the committee, and then we had 3 people, we had other people supporting him.
Yeah, okay.
Leading it.
So yeah, if you want to be the chair of the budget committee, I think then we could vote on that today, what you're saying, right, Jenny?
Yeah, I mean, I think might as well.
Yeah, I hope
Because-
you guys okay. If anybody want to say anything? No? I mean,
I want it. No, just
No.
kidding. I do not. I'm just totally.
But
joking.
the other committees, I don't think
Money's
it's
not
yeah, I
my
think that's a
necessarily-
really good compromise, right?
I think the budget is, important. We have somebody like, especially to,
With the experience.
yeah,
Do you feel comfortable with that? I mean, do you want to ask, also start the special ed?
I think we had talked about us two being in it,
Yeah.
right? But
mhm.
But
Do you
then-
guys want to do that now, or do you want to
I mean,
wait
we
and
could-
vote on it a bit later?
we could vote on
Yeah,
a
I
chair
have a
and then like, and then if, just leave it like that for now. Yeah.
Okay,
Because I know some issues have come up.
so like we would
Yes.
have,
So it
so what we
be
would
great.
do is like, when we get to that part in the agenda, like we would nominate you
I don't know.
to be, Virginia to be the chair of the budget committee, and we would vote on that. And we would nominate Brianna to be the chair of the special ed committee, we vote on that, and we do that today.
And the one thing though to note is because the dual language committee is now on the bylaws as an official committee, you need to do public OMA, posting of agendas and all of that. So just as a reminder of that.
So then we'll vote on chairs for budget and special ed today,
We're
right?
gonna do dual
You want
language.
to do
Sure.
Sure. For chair, right? Just chair of dual language? Okay. Is everyone okay with that? We're just gonna vote on the 3 chairs. That's great. That's one less thing to do then.
Okay.
That's awesome. Okay. Okay, so that's committee chairperson. Fabulous. Hubs Charities grant reallocation. There's kind of 2 parts to this, and I did want to leave it on. My understanding is like, this has been, discussed. We have, and Margarita, help me because this is your area of expertise. We have $15,000 from the prior, unspent from the prior grant that is allocated for capital, like expenditures. And it was written to be.
It could be for capital.
Yeah, it's under like the category, which is when it was submitted under the capital expenses category. And it was originally designated for key fobs, and at prior meetings, the consensus of both the LSC and the other Trabos was that we should think about using it for something else. I think we should, that when you get a grant, I mean, this is Jenny's area, you should spend it, right? You should use it. It would involve like sending a letter probably to the clubs, I'm assuming, saying that we, are interested in using, we're going to still use this for capital expenditures, but our needs may have changed or whatever. That there's that part. And then this is kind of along with it is, and I'm asking you, is I believe in the documentation that former Principal Bias had given us at one of the prior meetings, and we didn't get to talk about it. He had included the grant application, and the deadline was like February. So I don't know how it works when you have an administrator in charge, because we also have to think about the next cycle for the grant. Like we don't want to lose that grant. So it would behoove us to be like intentional and kind of on top of it in terms of allocating this money and explaining why we are using it the way we are, so that we don't like ding ourselves for applying for like the next cycle of grant. And did you help with the Hubs grant application like a few years ago?
To get it back on my tires.
To get it back on.
Yeah, like could you do that? If the deadline is February, is that something that you think you could maybe help with?
Sure.
And I guess you would have to probably talk to the AIC and Ms. Wilson, Ms. Rivera, right? About that process.
Yeah, so
And also, I think that in a lot of ways, I think all of us can contribute towards
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like what ideas we have, because these are 2 new administrators coming to our school, and at this point, I
It's
think that we-
$25,000, correct?
And I forget, there was,
so 2 things, sorry, just waiting. One, we want to make it as simple as possible. All the when we write grants, as in general, you want to be able to be as flexible as possible with it. And unfortunately, the way that it was written is super specific. So the one thing with the reallocation of the 15, we just have to inform them, priorities have shifted. We will be reallocating the same thing. I can help write that
That'd be
letter.
great.
We just need to figure out the
What we're
prioritization
gonna do.
of what it's going to be used for. That's super simple. In terms of the writing of the new grant, in general, we don't need to overthink it. The Cubs have a commitment to schools in the neighborhood, and they want to give us $25,000 for what we need best. We don't need to we are restricting it to ourselves.
We need
and
to
don't
just
wanna
make an
do that.
umbrella of what it is.
We
we
want
need.
to, and especially when we don't know what the budget for the new year is going to be, what the new principal, we want to be able to work with them potentially. So I think if we can get clarity on what the application is, who the contact is, if Margarita can help
If you
do that
help with
process,
that,
I'm happy to
that
support
would be great.
and how we want to write it, but super broad and not overcomplicated things.
In terms of reallocation, if we can,
Sorry, just Bella might be able to help with that because when we met with the Cubs and had asked for some support with some other things, they said, well, we gave you guys $25,000. So can you go back and see if you could use that money? So I don't think it will be an issue to use it. But maybe something as simple as like writing a letter so that we're making some changes on it. And we can reach out to our contact and see if he can tell us exactly.
that would be in
So,
terms of,
just for the notes, I'm going to clear.
We continue to receive, I continue to receive information from from our original contact person.
okay.
And she also visited our school. She's been to our school.
Yeah, I think she was here last.
Right.
So, and just in terms of clarity on action
Communication
steps.
will include that that's what I meant about.
Yeah.
us knowing
I
what
think
our
for
needs
action
are.
steps today,
just-
can we briefly discuss reallocation of the 15,000?
We can, I just wanted the clarity on, before we get to that.
Yeah.
So I can help take the lead in writing the letter. Margarita and Virginia as LSC, not as Felehat. Can you help clarity on who the contact person is, what the process, and let them just know we want to reapply, we're in leadership transition, and what the process is, and then I can help
That'd be
with the
So
writing
actually-
of
but
it
we're
when it
actually
comes to
doing
that.
two things. One is the funds, the 15,000,
Right.
and then updated grant for
Right.
so it's two things. So I think that for the original grant, that might be where if we can meet on that and then see what the needs are, and then the other one would be like.
So she's saying that we should
We're
talk
gonna
about
talk
the
about
needs
that
here.
right in a
We're not
second.
gonna talk what the
Yeah.
needs are for the 15,000. So we just need to know, so Virginia, and I'm gonna can support with writing it. So Virginia, Margarita, and Jenny will take the lead in following up in terms of the letter that we decide today and the application process. Because especially want to make sure that whoever Freya is talking to and who you're talking to, we want to make sure that they're clear that we're coordinating and we're on the same page.
Great. Okay. In terms of the 15,000, so what I think I've heard or been floated is there's a need for an air conditioner in gym cafeteria. Is that right? Both?
I think some of the stuff on the classrooms, I know this room that was brought up also for as part of the fundraising.
I mean, it's logical because it's a capital expense. The price of
The auditorium, the hard thing with the
auditorium.
auditorium is well, it's where are you gonna put it? It's also the auditorium is so big. But then the kids are in there for indoor recess. So then maybe the question is then, instead of that, what is an alternative for indoor recess? Because sticking the kids in that hot auditorium is not
but
help.
so forget the auditorium.
For the gym
cafeteria.
and cafeteria, because the cafeteria gets really hot when they eat, and who wants to?
Yeah, so gym
Where?
and cafeteria air
Gym.
conditioner. Does that sound like a reasonable? How much does anyone know? A lot?
Yeah.
It's gonna cost.
For
more.
the-
Don't talk about
yeah.
it.
I mean, because we also have this 25 that we're gonna be writing within 10, so it's asking.
Just a school that kind of they had a gymatorium type of setup, that they recently did a year and a half ago. was like 100K plus.
Ugh.
So, because it's some
And essential
wiring,
oh, the wiring.
it's structural, it's a
We're
large.
gonna be
space.
staying
How
sweaty.
does it go about getting like estimates? Like say we wanted to use the 15.
I'm sorry, it's gonna pick up so
Yeah.
many.
Too many people talking at the same time.
So say we want to use the 15 we have now plus possibly like the 25 we might get. We don't have to, but like, how would it go about getting?
Yeah. Sorry.
But
Go ahead.
Araceli, were you
Go ahead.
gonna say
We
something?
did ask James for a quote. Because that was something that was brought to FedEx early on. But then we were told that we couldn't, we would have to donate this, the money to the school. Anyway. So we do have, I believe we have quotes
For gym and cafeteria?
per like air conditioning unit, which is different than like the installation.
I forgot to put, can I read? I forgot to turn off the chat, but can I read what's in the
Yeah.
chat? The quote was 14,000, 2 ACs in the gym and 2 ACs, 1 in each cafeteria. So 4 ACs.
That's for the units,
For the
not
units.
installation, not the installation.
which you said might be a lot.
Yeah, and what I was referring to was like permanent, like AC blower system, and like
Like maybe fancier. I don't know.
just something that is long-term.
Like separate, versus just the units. the one.
Whereas 14,000 would be for units, which would
So it
still
might be
work.
better
They
to
might
think
just
about
not
somewhere
be-
else where that money would be.
Yeah, the efficiency and effectiveness, I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite sure.
So-
It's a large space.
So it sounds like, so Araceli, were you gonna say something? You guys said algo?
She said with the installation.
Or you gonna, someone else want to talk about this before I had a question about that? Go ahead. Well, no, I wanted to ask, can we just wait, give Araceli? You want to say?
No, I say 2 years ago, there was like a condition like 4, 2 and 1, don't do, and the other one too, there's work. Especially when it's very, very hot in there, they help.
So if you put like 2 more, it might.
Oh, 2 that's fine for each, like,
No, like there's none in there now.
There's 0 right now.
Oh, I
Right
see,
now
they
they
were,
got nothing.
oh, I see, they were like temporary. Yeah. So it could,
so they put it and remove it in the.
we
So you're saying
could-
that they were.
Yeah, what happens to them?
I remember hearing about Mr. Zayas walking down a hallway somewhere with an air conditioner one time, but I don't know
Yeah.
what happened to those. Someone told me, it was like, oh, they were using them temporarily, but I don't know where they went.
I don't know either.
Anyway.
I have a question, because on the budget, there's some capitalized construction renovations money, which is 175,000. Do you know what that was there for?
I don't, but I do know there's roofing repairs that
Oh,
are
that might be.
going to be done
Yeah.
because of that parapet wall where there's some leakage. So oftentimes when the district is taking on these things, they load it into the school budget, but not because the school budget has access to it. It's that they-
Just allocated it.
So are we guys, is there something else that people feel like the 15, like, do we think that this might be the best? Like,
I was gonna say that there's like another.
I think there needs to be, I don't know how you go about it, but repair.
There's a lot of missing lines, which
It's super
it may
expensive.
get
also.
painful, like at certain hours to project anything, to do a lot, it adds a lot of heat. I mean, we have a lot of paper, like up in the windows or things like that, but I know that that was something that was put in the, when we like polled the teachers,
Yeah.
that was something.
oh, right, because we can.
And
The
the, and
one
the
thing-
playground too was another one that came up because parts of the playground are kind of like
Yeah.
falling apart.
The one though concern that I have is that currently we have 0 air in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
And so I get that it's not a whole system of revamp, but I do feel should be a priority to get, if the window units worked in the past, getting window just for the lunchroom as like,
And-
this is a safety concern
and gym,
right now.
too.
Well, I don't know if we have enough for the gym would be the issue, because if we need 4 units.
And the gym is
Is-
harder because the windows are
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
It's so-
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get a quote for
For
the
these kinds?
cafeteria, or for like the unit and the installation?
Wait,
It would be a matter of asking.
I did.
just to get us a quote, but there is also.
Ms. Espino said the quote was 14,000, 2 ACs in gym and 2 ACs, one
That's
in
not
each cafeteria.
including installation.
And it says, and special
Oh.
ed with installation, but I don't know where that's coming from.
That would have come from James, because we had already asked him for quotes.
That's a lot
But it
less
includes-
than.
includes installation.
Yeah, that's so much less.
But is it
I
these
wanted-
kinds or is it?
I don't know. I have to look at the
Yeah,
quote
it's,
itself to see, but there is also cell tower money. There's $219,000 in cell tower money. So if there's projects that we want to get done, and if we have to pull from different monies to pay for that, I think that we can. And maybe putting a plan together so that year one, we buy this many, year two,
Yeah.
we buy this many more.
The
Because
one thing
the-
about the cell tower though, money, is that in terms of, if we especially have 200 there, if we have, I would like to,
That usually saves us when we're like, when
Like
the
hourlies
budget
and
comes
other
and we
things.
get cut a bunch.
So can we,
so I get you that
Yeah.
we, but in terms of
Yes.
prioritization of what we should,
Yeah.
there's money in there in terms of. what
But
to
can
do.
we, if we, I feel like we can rewrite, say we do want to use this, but for school improvements, specifically for cooling down the cafeteria and
yeah.
the spaces
So,
without
I mean,
ACs.
Is that quote good enough that we can just like see?
I don't think you have to give them a
Oh,
quote.
no, they
You
don't need
just-
anything. We just need to tell them we're doing it.
Yeah, but
we
I
need
mean-
to,
Yeah, in terms of of that,
We wouldn't need to vote on anything today.
Right.
because We're not voting on the
right?
use of any money. as
No.
of right now. We're just saying that that would be where the money would be reallocated to.
Cooling down areas
So
that
we
do
need
not
to,
have
like,
ACs.
confirm it with James and I guess the AIC and, you know, the interim and assistant principal. Like, what would be the next, if we decide that we want to use that $15,000 for the air conditioning for the lunch room and maybe the gym? Like, what's the next step for us to do?
I think that,
Rewrite the.
right.
Well-
Well, no, we just notify them that, our priority has changed.
Yeah.
Right.
well,
No,
the thing
so
is,
What I'm asking
but
is,
there's
we have
two
to be
things.
sure we have enough money.
Because the thing about it is that I don't want to write to them until we have a clear step that
Exactly,
this is
that's what I'm
possible.
saying.
Right.
So what you're going
Yeah.
to is saying, how are we going to actually, the process
Yeah,
for
but
getting the things
Maybe
bought?
we have that process, like what's the next step in the process? Do we want to?
I would say the next step is having a firm, coming up with a firm decision,
Mhm.
so that then you can notify the cost granted.
Mm-hmm.
And you already have the money, so it's not as if you
Okay,
have
so
to.
we have
So-
enough to do it.
So I don't think the cut will be an issue. You just need to be very clear in saying how the pivot's gonna be. That's all.
Yeah.
We already have the money from.
So what,
And then I was gonna say, I think the second part, if you're looking to do some sort of install or repair or upgrade, just because pricing on things change
That's
all the
That's kind
time.
of, yeah.
Get some current quotes, maybe circle back to the vendors who gave you those and say, what does this work cost now?
Yeah, like, could we do that for January meeting?
Which is that? That is a.
Oh, that's a current.
That's a current.
So then we should be fine, like, we can, it's 14,000 and we have 15, that's good, because you might want a little extra because you don't know that, you know.
my one question though,
But get it clear
my-
whether it includes installation.
Oh,
or
she
not,
did.
And then how long the period will be, before it expires. Like, in other words, is it good for 6 months? The quote.
well, my question though, my concern is the installation, if the gym windows are different, like, is that, like, that was the installation for our current thing or just general installation? Because what I want to make sure is like, in terms of what we need is like an actual quote to be like, for our current space, this is what we need. In general, good practice is to get a couple of quotes for comparison. So if we could have 2 or 3 quotes, and then based on that, the LSC would say, we want to go with this quote, and then we would need someone within the administration to take the lead on implementing it. And I guess who is that, the AIC? AIC Rivera?
Yeah, I mean, the end of everything is simply quotes, knowing that there's CPS vendors,
that,
right,
yeah.
all of that. And then a decision from the LSC so that the AIC can then transfer funds to generate the purchase orders.
So like,
And AIC Rivera would be the one to then like follow through in the implementation of like
Would be the
purchasing and all
last
that.
step in terms of then just.
Because you have five ACs with installation for 14K seems a little.
Yeah.
so then,
Cheap.
looking at,
That's what I was thinking.
since you're about to become the budget, like, would you be okay doing that? Being the one to look into that?
Yeah, that's fine.
That would, and then we would care, and then the next meeting on January 8th, like, you would update us on that. Would that work? and then we would formally decide, right? And then once we have, then we would write the letter to the.
Okay.
Right?
Once we have, yeah.
Thank you.
So Virginia is going to get at least 2 quotes for January to present to us, making sure that it's for our specifics of the, whether with the prior, I'm hearing us say the priority is lunchroom and if possible, the gym. But as of now, priority is that, seeing how much that is to make sure it's within budget, CPS vendors, and then we can work on the letter post January.
Okay.
I mean, one recommendation, I think it's important that whoever you seek quotes from, they come and see the space.
Yeah.
Because that'll speak to what does the electrical look like, what do the windows look like.
The building is over 100 years old. So
Right, and not just find kind of a quote over the phone.
Right,
cover
that will-
X number of years.
Yeah.
Great, okay. And that will help too as we plan the CUPS grant, like the next round of applications, like, you know. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, so that leads us to the last new business, and then we'll have the voting items, which is great because it's 6:28. So we're just doing good in terms of time. So these transfers, contracts, basically these were what was left over, I think, from previous the meeting that wasn't a meeting in November 6th, and then on the November 12th we were able to approve some of them. These are like the outstanding items that we had, and they're all here on for everybody. So Escalita, I know that Virginia talked about, Marissa talked about. This is basically almost like a formality so that the teachers can get paid, right? We're going to go through all of them and then we're going to vote on all of them, right? So anybody have any questions about that? I think that's pretty straightforward, right guys? Okay. And I think if you're confused about, like on the paperwork, I think what Alexis had emailed out to the LSC, like a list of pending transfers expenditures, and then I kind of compiled what I had. So I think some of this is just copied and pasted. So that one was straightforward. When the next one I have school budget transfer, and this was the substitute bucket, and it's the transfers needed to create a substitute bucket. Several substitutes have been waiting for payment. So I think there was a bit of confusion in Dr. Probably waiting on some emails. Like when we had done the budget last spring, it said that we were allocating $5,000, but then former principal Zayas had requested $22,078. And then there was also what Alexis had said was missed prep bucket, that teachers must be compensated when missed prep time is not made up by the end of the quarter. And so she was saying both the substitute and this prep bucket will be combined to pay out substitutes that create an SPS program. So I think that $22,078 transfer would then combine. And then I think there was like confusion, and maybe it must be because I did meet with Mr. Gardner's also yesterday about the balance or the amount of the bucket. And she's saying it's like a citywide school thing where there's a capacity or something. All these substitutes. Yeah.
So you replenish it with your student.
Yeah, that's what she meant. Yeah.
Okay. So,
we have no choice but to.
right, exactly. So what's happened is, the district is now saying, if you don't do it, we're gonna do it with you for dollars. So they've been notifying principals and letting them know they can work to clear negatives and transfer appropriate funds to these buckets, which is what she was saying, because one of them is significantly in the negative. I recall like almost $8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why he was asking to do the trying to do that. And
That's
like-
part of it, and then there's that other miscellaneous one that's a little further down.
Yeah, I don't think
as well.
we even have a form for that one, but we'll get to that. So the way this is written is a little, it's not quite clear, but it would be what at that 22,078 was what prior to the November 12th kind of brief meeting as the amount that is still there. Because of my understanding, it was still like a little clarity on this.
For the substitute bucket, yes, for the list prep, it makes sense. My thought is, if you transfer that amount, it'll definitely carry you to the end of the year. And then you can see as expenditures kind of roll into late spring, if there is access, you can always move it. It's part of your spend out.
But we need it to be paid.
Yes.
Because we have substitutes who have not been paid for like 2 months or 3 months, right? 4 months,
A little bit at a time.
a long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't comment on that.
Okay. So then, does anyone have any other questions or comments about this?
Quick question, because it's, when I go look at this 115 line, this top one, there's no money in there, and it's going from that one to this other one. And we had asked Mr. Guerra to bring, to send us the fund so that we can check to see if there's money in there.
Yeah, like we don't know if there's even money in the fund because we didn't get any of that.
Yes.
That's what we were asking for. I think we were asking principal guys for the budget over email.
It's a 115, I can show it to you, and when I, like the
Yeah,
last set of documents that I have, that line is actually, it doesn't have any money.
Yeah,
in it.
I asked her for a copy of it as well.
We have extras. Just take all of these.
It's, I'll be honest with you, it's tough for me to answer. I really have to sit down and kind of look at all the lines and see where these are connecting to.
The one that's going to, I'm not sure if that's correct, so.
I think it's a typo.
That's a typo, and then if it is a 115, yeah, there's $5,000. Yeah, you can't do
Right.
from 114 to 115. So there's $5,000 of that on it already, so I don't know. But the top one, the 115.5150, from what I see, it doesn't have any money.
But the 114, it should be 114.
114 is supposed to be right.
This one,
The
yeah.
second line should be one.
Yeah, that one is typo.
So
That one
that
has 5,000,
It's supposed to be
which is
115.
correct because that's what we was allocated for budget.
For the note, I'm totally lost. You gotta tell what number, I gotta write the correct numbers. What's the typo?
So it's this one, right? That's two buckets. So what we're saying is, they should both be 115.5.
Okay,
Because one is account 51350 and one is account 51320. 51320 currently has the $5,000, which makes total sense because that's what we have, right?
It has to be 115.
Yeah.
This line
Like with
here
budget.
has no money. in
Yeah.
it. This one has $5,000.
So is that- does that mean it was already transferred?
There's $5,000 in there.
Especially
We're
around
asking for
buckets
22.
and
This
payroll.
money, this line
Yeah,
here.
the deal report from a couple of weeks ago, and then it changes.
So you
As
actually-
funds get distributed out.
So you
things
actually,
get
this
transferred
5,000
out.
is used to check the 5,000.
No, this would be
Right,
5,000.
so.
This thing is gonna be catching.
So theoretically, there is that money in 51350 is transferred.
just in terms of process,
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Rivera will reach out and say.
just in terms of the process, if we have too many side conversations, they can't hear anything we're saying. So just to say, like, in terms of trying to clarity of like, all be on the same page.
Okay,
just
so
to
I guess
clarify.
this is because like the subs have to be, right? That's kind of the conception. And we would then approve this with the typo corrected so that the 1114 says 115. And operating under the assumption is that there is $22,078 in account 51350 transfer, basically, right?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Do people feel okay about that before we move on?
At this point, my concern is that people need to get paid. And
Otherwise,
so
we're not
I
gonna get
just-
subs because they're not
Right,
gonna come.
and so I just would like to, we have had a challenge for the last 2 years to get clarity of like what is happening. And at this point, I would recommend us just moving forward and working to try to get clarity after this.
I agree. Like
So-
people need to
Well,
get.
and in addition to that, Dr. Travel said that if there's money left over, we can
Yeah.
go with that.
Yeah, I think like we need this, that's why these are on here because these are somewhat urgent and
And so I think
Yeah.
just move forward.
Okay, everyone's okay moving on, that's awesome. Okay, then we have summer enrollment, payment for work and summer enrollment from Garcia. The existing bucket was created for teachers only, so it needs to be a new bucket to establish for EXP for payroll. 1200.
Okay, what does summer enrollment include?
So we had, when we had approved that money over the summer, it was not, she did not get paid for that summer enrollment. She stayed over the summer to process enrollment of the incoming students, the ones that were coming in to take the test for pre-K, doing the paperwork, all of that, and she has not got paid for the whole summer.
Yeah. And she just can't be, it's like almost like a technicality, like, because.
I know, I think she's on here too.
But it's for the fall enrollment?
It's for
For the summer,
Like last summer.
incoming.
Yes, like 6 months ago.
You do it in the summer
for the fall. It's the worksheet of the summer for the fall.
Fall.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
fall enrollment.
She's still hasn't been paid.
Because I'm thinking summer.
No, it's the worksheet over the summer for the fall. And she couldn't get paid because she was not a teacher. So she couldn't put in that bucket. So I think that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She already worked that. Can I make you go back now that
Yeah.
we did that to number 1, which was on the letterhead? Did you do that one?
It's Felicia, we did it.
We did that one?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're going into it.
okay. So now we're on,
Number 5, which is 6th grade. So I actually approved this at Dr. Travel sent me an email on like Monday, Tuesday, don't remember. Monday, and I said that if could I like approve this myself, and then we would vote retroactively, because otherwise the field trip would have been canceled, which is tomorrow. So I said I don't think anyone would have a problem with that, and now we just have to vote on it. Does anyone have a problem with that? Good. Okay. Thank you guys. Number 6 was the check for $3,700 to pay for the 100 boxes of chocolate bars for the 8th grade sale. We got an email from.
basically it's
asking for
just
that. I
to
think
cut the
that's-
check
to cut
for,
the check 'cause they need to get paid. I think that's also. Anyone have anything with that? No, okay. 7 is, poor Miss Lynch, who I think believe had to ask for an extension for the payment because the Scholastic Book Fair payment was already, I think December 10th is the due date for the extension, I want to say. Somebody told me that.
Yeah.
Which is soon. So she needs, this is a check for that we are owed to Scholastic Books. Okay. Don't think no one has a problem with that, right? And then backroom partition and miscellaneous, these kind of didn't have a signature form on these, so I'm not even sure if we can do that. I think I gave her like a list of everything that was pending, everything that didn't, I think she's kind of like working off that. I don't know if we can even prove them, you know.
which one?
Bathroom partition, like we didn't actually get a real form for that. That was.
We had one in the,
I included it, and she might have it was a lot for her to do because she got this yesterday afternoon, and she might just not have.
I think we can,
I think you want to wait on that. I think that's fine. Yeah, it's
We
not
can-
gonna be installed before.
we can table it because they would have to do a new one anyway with, for the next meeting.
Okay, I think we're
Yeah.
gonna table that just because we don't have the correct form anyway, right? And then the miscellaneous bucket, we don't have a form for that either, but we can like talk about it and move that too. That was, we were told that it was in the negative of 14,220. The bucket was originally opened with 1,000. Our plan as per, the budget that was approved last year was to allocate approximately 67,580, but if I recall correctly, those numbers might not be exact into right? So that's why it's off, right?
Yeah, I kind of guessed what ended up happening was because it was a negative, Dias was taking 67 plus negative 14, which kind of brought it in that 77 range. Again, this is something where I would recommend like voting on this today because this is very problematic. There's 2 things, either yes to the 67,580 or yes to the 77,680. Because even if there's an excess, these $1, $2, $4 come right back to the school. It's not as if it's big.
It's just better to have the excess
I
and to
don't
be
have
in
an
the
actual like form for this, but like, for example, I can stuff, if she emails me one, or someone.
Yeah,
she
I
can
think
send
it's
me
just-
one. At the bottom,
If the LSC is released for the public record,
like, well,
approve that,
yeah.
she can then create the one pager.
Right.
Is it okay for now if she just signs on these and then?
This is the only one that doesn't have, because it doesn't have any, like, the line, you know,
Right.
the line items and all that stuff, so,
I know,
you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Miss-
of what?
Miss- First, I say Miss Reyna.
Mrs. Garcia.
Yeah.
She was frantically working on this
Exactly.
this afternoon, so.
I mean,
While
I might,
doing everything else she does,
I
yeah.
think the questions that we had originally for the principal was that and when we, finalized the budget for the school year, we had 4 miscellaneous workers. And they were, going to get paid for 6 hours a day at $20 per night. So then at some point, the principal, I believe, got a 5th, hourly, and then at some point there was maybe 6, right? So what, I think the question, I mean, obviously, this money can go towards it, but I think that at some point soon, we should have an answer. Is that going to be adequate? Did he, get to more hourlies? Are they going to also be on the, the 6-hour day? And also, and that this is very important for our community, is what is their job description? The original one was for monitoring the lunchroom and the playground. And we certainly want monitoring so that all the children get the opportunity, as many children as possible, especially in the lower grades, to use the playground. And if there's other needs for the hourly, and I think that the community needs to know. So obviously, this may be, hopefully it is enough money, and there's a need for more money. But again, letting us know what the 2 additional hours are what, what they're-
So I think what you shared, absolutely valid. So Mr. Kerr and I also, and Ms. Wilson, we were talking this afternoon, just trying to sort the whole miscellaneous out because we've got some do this, some do district miscellaneous, and support for pre-K. So I just need a little bit of time to figure that out. But they need these
Yes.
funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay, so I found the electronic copy of the form that Principal Gaius sent out. Within it does have like the line and everything. I can read that out and I can like print it out when I get home and sign it with the email, so that we'll have what we need.
Or you could just write it down. But here, no? You want to be more
Really,
formal?
it's very, I mean, it's
on
three,
there.
it's on there. It's 3 different things. I can
Is
tell you-
it, if you want, I can find you and you can give it to me. Are you coming tomorrow to drop off?
Yeah, but just email it. It's not a big deal.
Oh, they can.
I can
print it.
scan it.
That's
Yeah, it's, no, I would just scan it. But
Yeah.
so it's 2 things. It says, it's from budget line school parking
Here
lot
it is.
rental.
Slipper slow, because
Sorry.
I gotta type it on.
I will also. It's the 124-57915 school parking lot rental
124, 57.
175.
915. I would.
Sorry.
I'm gonna email it to you. I feel like this would be.
Well,
easier.
because the thing is, you can email it, but for the record, you gotta read it out
Oh,
anyway.
I know, but
so that's
we're
what I'm
not
saying.
voting yet.
Okay.
I'm just trying to tell you guys what's in it, because there's 3 separate things. One is Medicare 1345 and 32 cents. So you're gonna transfer that to budget class, it says. One is FICA 233884. That's the transfer. And then one is salary 73,995 and 12 cents to budget class. And what he said is what's on the paper we have, which is the current miscellaneous 673,317 is in the negative in the amount of 14,220, which is what you said. And then the bucket was originally opened at 1,000. And then the transfers above will cover the cost of the bucket for 67,580, which is last year's salary cost. So when I read it for voting, like I can be the one to make the motion just because I'm the one who has it in front of me.
Mhm.
And then this one I can just like sign it,
Okay.
And then the bathroom partitions, I mean, I have, again, these are the electronic docs he gave us, like we have that, but if it's just too much with not having the budget in front of us, we can wait till the next meeting for that.
If people feel fine with it, I just worried once January comes, we're gonna be focused on stuff. If we have it now, then we don't
I mean,
miss
I
it
think
and lose
Dave-
it. We
I
should
just
just
have
do
to
it.
find.
And my recommendation.
I just have to find it. It's one of the emails. I have the quote for like $1,400, and one of the emails. She said it, I think, to all of us. It was one of.
Yeah, the total amount requested is that what you're looking at, $77,800?
No, I'm talking about a different one. It was one of the.
If we don't have it on hand, it's fine. I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
we have it, I would
I-
recommend that we try to do it, and if able to do it.
It'll take me a minute to find the form. So,
The email?
no, it's the form that's attached in the email. I think I'm opening it up now. Because that's the one that has like the line items, right? And I'm waiting for that to open. We got an email with 24 attachments from former principal on November 9th. That was.
Oh, I have
found
it here. I can
found
forward it.
I
Okay.
already found it. Yeah. And that, just to be clear, if we want to do that, I have that form too. So I could sign it, print it out at home, sign it, and like scan it and bring it. And that was from 124 to a different 124, and it was 1426.54 from the cell. So if we're okay with it, I think I have these forms inside of us, and we can go ahead with it.
I think
I would like to.
yes,
Me too.
because the students
Okay.
So
had
then
asked for
I
that,
think
so.
we're good. There's no other transfer expenditure contract that we discussed, right? So I will just, those two, like, we'll read out what we have, and those two I'll find.
Okay.
Okay. So then that takes us to vote on transfers expenditures first for point A on voting. Okay. So we're gonna go in the order that they were kind of received.
So there's one last page there.
Oh,
Oh, that's me again, like, that's just what we did last time. It was kind of when I met with Ricky and I met with Mrs. She's like our de facto person yesterday, and in preparation for the meeting, I came up with what we've done and what I told you is kind of.
Not a problem. I just wanted to.
That's why I left
Oh,
it.
thank you.
Well, that's just got that at like
Perfect.
4 p.m. So they're
Not a
really
problem.
small, but yeah. Great, okay. So we're starting with number one, which
Okay.
is Escuelita.
I would like to make a motion to transfer from Familia en la Escuela internal account number 28130 in the amount of $5,190 to be transferred to Oracle account 51320. The program number is 290001.
So you seconded?
Mhm.
Okay, so Jess, and then we're gonna, for that.
Were you able to get the numbers?
That's what I wanted to, all of it is ready. For the ones I have are already there, so I'm good.
Are we okay? Are you caught up? Just-
For that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Okay.
just gotta vote,
Yeah.
everybody.
So we're gonna, all in favor of the Escuelita, transfer. That was everybody, right? Jenny
Mhm.
saying yes. She's just-
Yep.
Okay, so that passed unanimously, nobody against or abstention. Okay, great, and I signed that. Okay, number two is basically substitute and missed prep combined, right?
That one's in here,
Yeah.
right? That's, no.
So what in terms of numbering, it's going to be different, but I would like to just be able to say the next motion is for the
The
two,
next
2 and
motion
3.
would be for substitute and missed prep bucket, okay? And I corrected and initialed the error on there for, it should say, where it says fund 1114, it should say fund 115.
So am I reading the whole thing?
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to be the person making the motion.
Yeah, let's just go for it.
Okay, so I'm making a motion for the transfer of, it's $22,000
78.
and $22,078 for substitute bucket, miss prep bucket. So it's going from unit 29191, fund 115, account 51350, program 290001, grant 000570, FY 2026 to unit 29191, Fund 115, Account 51320, Program 290001, Grant 000570, FY 2026.
Great. I will second that. All in favor of this transfer for substitute Ms. Pratt, raise your hand. Okay, that'll pass you. Okay. So then next we have summer enrollment for Mrs. Garcia, who has not been paid. Would someone like to make a motion for that?
So are we just making a motion to create an
It's for
existing
the
bucket?
bucket. It's for the bucket because she doesn't.
Okay, so do you want me to do all of them? So okay. So I make a motion to establish an ESP clerk payroll bucket, ESP bucket for Ms. Garcia to get paid the 21 hours for school enrollment for the summer in the amount of $1,200.
Someone want to second that?
I second.
Then a second. All in favor of that, raise your hand, say aye. Everybody, okay, that's unanimous also.
No, wait a second. You let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, okay, we'll give Jenny a minute.
Yeah, in the future, I mean, it just so folks know, it's, if we're while doing the discussion, I have all the information. Like right now, I have, everything I have is ready.
Okay,
So,
Okay.
good.
except for the ones that I.
Yeah.
All right, so number 5.
I can motion
So
that
let-
one. I can motion number 5 because I'm the one who moved it.
Although for the record, this is number 4 because the other one was combined.
It was
Yes.
2
I
and
just
3
want
combined.
to
Yes,
let,
you're
for
right.
this, we're on
Yeah.
number 4.
So 6th grade field trip payment, approval for the check needed. I approved this by email already informally because of
Let me do-
the what's been on. So I will make a motion for the check to Museum of Science and Industry from internal accounts for the student field trip in the amount of $1,235. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor of that? Raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Okay, that passes.
Okay, now we get funds.
Oh, no. Why does it keep on going to sleep? That's weird.
I didn't lose anything. A video.
Did it?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Almost, hold on. Okay, ready.
All right. I make a motion to cut a check for $3,700 from internal accounts to World's Finest Chocolate to pay for the 100 boxes of chocolate bars.
I second.
Okay, all in favor of the chocolate payment? Aye. Aye, that's also unanimous.
I feel like I've given the kids most of my money. They keep up finding me.
Ready.
Okay, I make a motion to cut a check for the amount of $6,000, $6,087.10, to Scholastic Book Fair from the internal accounts. That's labeled Scholastic Book Fair.
I second.
Okay, all in favor of the $6,087.10 going to Scholastic
No.
Book Fair for payment? Raise your hand, say aye. Aye. That's everyone's unanimous again, so that passed. Okay, and I'll do the last couple, okay? And I just emailed you the 2 PDFs, Jenny, for those. So then for the next is for the bathroom. It is, I make a motion for a budget line transfer to make a purchase for a bathroom partition from budget line in the amount of $1,426.
We had decided that.
I found the form, so we have it.
Yeah.
And I said, we're gonna forget in January, I motioned to move forward with it.
I mean, yeah.
So,
So we don't have any details? on
Yes, we did. We got it in
We have all
paper.
the
Yeah,
And we got it in
it.
email.
We have an invoice.
Okay, what is it?
It tells us that the amount for, we got it emailed in November, an 18 by 48 inch charcoal bathroom partition. It has a quote.
It has a quote.
Yeah, it's,
He emailed the
everybody-
quote after the fact,
Are
yeah.
we doing both the second and third floor? Is he sec- is
Oh,
he
right,
doing both-
sorry.
Yeah,
Is he doing both the
it's
second and third
6
floor?
ordered. It,
6 ordered, yeah, there's for
Yeah.
6.
I mean, 6 partitions. So I think that.
And I think I don't know, I know the big thing was for the top 4 with the older
For the,
kids.
Adolescents.
Yeah.
This was, I don't know if you remember, this was,
The student rep.
the student rep brought this to us, that for.
Right, no, but I meant in terms of, does that take care of both bathrooms?
That I actually don't know.
Awfully low.
Yes, it seems low, but I think.
But
I would
we
say
could
move
always get
forward.
more
It's
later.
a start, I suppose, and it seems like an urgent issue.
Can I make a
so-
motion? I make a motion.
Oh, I'm doing it because I'm the one who has the numbers in front.
Okay.
I was in the middle of a motion when Margaret was asking. So I make a motion, and these are the 2 I can't sign. I have to print them out. From for the purchase for bathroom partition for the amount of $1,424.54. From cell tower budget line 29191 124 579 15 253 201 000 2026 to budget line 29191 124 534 05 111 008 0022 39 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor for bathroom partition, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that was also unanimous. That's the one I will sign and email. Okay, and then the final one,
Do you want me to read? I have it here.
oh, you found
The
the,
school funds transfer.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
I
didn't realize you found it. Okay.
So it seems like it's one to several different budget
It
lines,
is.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. So
We're gonna make the motion. Can we just get the second first, and then we can make what the motion is? Julian, okay, now go ahead. Just don't have it. I just wanted to have that clear.
okay. So from budget line, the budget line is school parking lot rental 124 57915 254905 000400. Are you going to be typing all these out?
Because that was so helpful.
You
If I
have it.
have it, I copy and paste and we're good.
Okay,
So you just
perfect.
read it and we're good.
Okay, 2 budget lines, unit, so they're all unit 29191. The first one, which was an error, which is Medicare, $1,345.32, transfer $1,345.32 to budget class. Pointer line is 29191.124.5133 0.0001.0004000.2026. The next one error is FICA $2,338.84. Transfer to budget class, that full amount to budget class 29191.124.5133001.0004000.2026. Salary $73,995.12. Transfer that full amount to budget class 29 or bud pointer line 29191.124.5132001.0004000.2026.
And you said.
And the total amount altogether is for $77,680.
Okay. And then I already seconded it. Okay, all in favor of.
So many
that-
numbers.
that's it. Everybody, okay, and that's passing it also. So those 2, so just if you want these to give to Alexis tomorrow, does that work? And then I'll email the other 2.
Yes.
Or drop them. Okay, so that concludes the voting part A for voting, right? So now part B is voting on committee chairpersons. And I think we were gonna have budget chair, special ed chair, and dual language, right? Okay.
I make a motion.
Yeah.
Do we do it one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion for
To the left.
sorry, so I make a motion to elect Virginia for budget chair.
I second that. All in favor of me as the budget chair?
Aye.
That was unanimous, right? Okay. Okay.
I make a motion.
Who, you did the second,
I
right?
did, yeah, okay.
Does anybody else want to do these or we're just gonna go
I
through?
motion Juliana to be the chairperson for our LSC committee for special education.
I second.
Okay, all in favor of that? Okay,
Okay, so just give me a second.
I'll send you this.
Special education.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll motion for Margarita to be the chair of the dual language action. Action plan. Yeah, second, okay, all in favor of that? Yeah, okay, if nobody opposes that, unanimously, also congratulations. So that concludes the voting on, please let me rewrite it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do it.
Let's go.
You're doing great.
Dual action. What is it? Dual action. What's it called?
Dual language action.
Dual action.
Dual language.
Thank you. Dual language
Action plan.
action plan committee.
It sounds like some superhero.
Okay.
Okay, so that concludes the voting items for tonight. And we are now at public participation, our second one. So we're gonna open up the chat for public participation. It is 3 minutes per person with a total of 15. I'm going to read the following statement. We will now proceed with the public participation portion of the meeting. Profane language, unsolicited comments, and disruptive behavior are prohibited. Individuals who are disruptive may be given a warning and may also be removed from the meeting if necessary. The online chat will be open during public participation only for participants to put their name to request to speak. Otherwise, all attendees must refrain from writing anything else in the chat. Chat is open.
Yeah. The chat is open. If you would like to participate, please put your name in the chat or raise your hand.
We have nobody in person. This chat.
I got a message from Jen Torres from the Sanctuary Committee, who was not able to be here today and wanted to publicly just again thank all the volunteers who've been doing Ice Watch and for their commitment to keeping our community safe through the cold, and who will continue to do so and be engaged and support the community. So just a public shout out and thank you to them.
And
No, nobody. Go ahead.
And just related to that, I also wanted to thank the Sanctuary Committee, who also coordinated a really important workshop on Monday on how to talk to our children around what's happening with ICE and immigration enforcement. And it was a really great workshop, good discussion. And so thank you to the Sanctuary Committee for that. And I hope that in this new chapter of leadership transition that we can continue to have this as a priority for our community moving forward.
do we know if that's available to watch?
It was not
You were at work,
recorded.
but
Yeah, I know. But it was virtual, and I know the Sanctuary team is interested in creating those spaces, and it wasn't really advertised. It was a Monday before, right after Thanksgiving. I think timing wise was not ideal, so I think that they're
Was it
definitely
done in
interested.
school?
It was in virtual.
But they'll make do another one.
Yeah, I think there's
That's
interested
awesome.
in doing
Okay.
it. And there were, there's it was a
Oh, I
small
saw it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. No, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you would like to participate, this is your last chance to either raise your hand or put your name in the chat. Going once, going twice, and no.
Okay. Next meeting will
Set the
be
brightness
on
lower.
January 8th. It's except just for LSC members, it's not a meeting, but a reminder, Monday, December 8th at 7:30 virtual.
I've already sent
Thank you.
invite to all of you, so if you did not receive it, please let me
Would
know.
someone like to motion? Yeah.
No, that's why I know we want to, but I do want to just do a straw poll of, there was a couple of us discussing earlier around the times of our meetings. I know for folks who work, getting here at 5 and after school activities is challenging. And today we actually started right at 5, and that was awesome. But the concern of putting the later time that sometimes makes us start later. So wanting to see if folks would be interested in putting back to 4:30 as the time, so that if we then start late, it's not as later.
Justin
So-
will be, I think he just can't come until after 5.
Right.
Yeah, so we.
So if we have quorum,
we
we
would have
can,
Justin
right,
late every.
as well as.
Yeah, it'll be like 5:25, 30, depending on
Yeah, and I think Justin, I think it was close, like after 5. I think he said by 5:30 was when he was this current news.
But definitely, as someone who in the past, I don't want to have folks who have less flexible schedules not be able to come on time. So I don't want to be like exclusive, but I want to try to find that balance of like we have long meetings, so
We
the
did a
sooner we
really good
start.
job. We had 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, we started at like what, 5:08. We are exactly 2 hours today. So, I mean, we can think about it.
Yeah, because we can't vote on it today. I'm just
Right.
planting the seed, but I wanted to get a straw poll with people, how people felt about it, because we shouldn't vote on it if people don't. I mean, if no one wants to change it.
I would just like to say, I think the advantage of that is that, hopefully in the spring, more parents will be able to join in person.
It's right after.
They can try it after school. So
Yeah, that's
the 4:30 would mean you're outside with your kids for a little bit.
Yeah.
As opposed to a whole hour by that time.
I'm okay with either.
Okay.
So that would be good.
So just putting it, so for notes,
Yeah, 5 is a little easy for you, and then for Kristen, like saying like, it's just not, and then Justin. So it just means that like at the moment it's like 3 members would have a little bit of trouble.
the one, right. The one thing I would like, now we have a better audio, so in terms of connecting virtually before we start, but we can think about it and talk about it. for the next-
I can remember to put it on. Great.
Something to clarify with Ms. Ford, because I didn't realize she sent me a message. She said if there's she sent me a chat message. If there's an LSC member that is a board member of the Friends of Group, the LSC members should not vote on matters related impacting the Friends of Group,
So that, the FELE thing.
which I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Oh, so for equity.
Oh, okay. I had no idea, but got it.
Okay, I'm gonna put in,
Yeah.
for the notes, I'm gonna put that you abstained.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but that makes sense.
So it was just for that one.
So abstain.
So abstain for the Escuelita one, right?
Only the ones that they're affiliated with, they would abstain
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
And I don't know who the person is, so I couldn't interrupt.
No,
So
that's
it's fine.
fine.
So that has to be. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Makes sense. Okay, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, would someone second the motion? Great, all in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
Great, that passed unanimously. So
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I am going to.
The meeting ends at 7:10. Sorry. for the-
So I'm gonna stop the recording.